Mama V is here. Great interview you had, I am told, by the crew. You went to interview the Akwete MP. Why did you do that in Parliament? Because
I see you want to do some Daibobi on the show.
Oh, no. Hey! Please, so you play that. What kind of that ball again? Who did that? You want to do that ball? I want to do that ball.
Otiko Jaba will get you. She will deal with you.
She's my good friend. She's my good friend. Well, a very good morning to you, Honorable Otiko Afisa-Jaba, Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection.
Yes. I had a conversation with her as well.
On the salon of this.
She talks about this subject, and she makes a passionate call to a former member of parliament for Akwatia.
Why? Is a member of parliament who did the audio?
And says that he should come on board and support Madam. Okay, so you know the member of parliament for Akwatia delivered a speech at the Independence Day celebration that was held in Akwatia, and the audio has gone viral, and people are basically laughing at her because of her English. So we speak about that. We speak about that.
But will we play the audio? Because it won't be fair to tell viewers.
Oh yes, of course. We're going to share exactly, you know, the reason people are making her laugh and talk, and then we'll get her response as well. I also ask her, Roland, because you know she's a first-time MP. I ask her
how many minutes
when
will
we
the
should
interview be?
Guess. Take a wild guess.
I hope it's only 10 minutes.
10.
You did long.
No.
Based on the audio.
No. It's less than 2 minutes. Yeah, we carried our cameras from Kokomlemle to somewhere in the ministries to do a 2-minute interview.
Fantastic. Anyway, so you have
so stay on for that. But I think that I even love her more. She's an amazing person, and she's such an inspiration.
And I believe that especially when we're celebrating women for the week, we need to celebrate the rights, sort of initiatives that will encourage people to take up awesome ventures on their own. It doesn't matter who they are.
Yeah. And Madam Otiko Jaba also talks about a certain initiative by the ministry.
The interview was 2 minutes.
To get guys such as yourself on board.
I'm already on board. I'm already on board.
To support women.
Because
you know, if we say women are supposed to be equal, that's all you know, Roland. I can buy you right now. Let's do the newspapers. We'll start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the Graphic. Man 34 arrested for killing sex worker. And the man who's in custody is on the front page of the paper. Isaac Saki, his name is. Criminal Offences Act to be amended to deter corrupt acts. That's according to the president. Tragedy looms as food crops with heavy metal enter markets. And on the front page of the paper, you find one Dr. Eric Oswe J, Scientific Secretary, Soil Research Institute, Kwadaso Agri College, explaining a point, they say, to Professor Kwabena Frimpong-Boateng, the Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, during a visit to the soil laboratory at the CAC, which is Kwadaso Agri College in Kumasi. So 2 stories we want to look at a little bit in, you know, just for us to get a better understanding. One is that banner headline about tragedy looms as food crops with heavy metal enter market. It says lifestyles impact heavily on our health, especially the food we eat, but increasingly the exploitation of our natural resources for our livelihood poses a major risk to our well-being. The use of weedicides in preparing the land for the cultivation of all kinds of foods and cash crops threaten food security and safety. Also, the activities of illegal miners do not only threaten land and water bodies, but the safety of food and water in the mining communities also. And it continues. You can take a good read of this one, put together by our friend in Kumasi, Mr. Daniel Kenu, and Seth J. Book in Accra. A good piece, by the way. This is something that we talk about often, but it looks like those who are supposed to be hearing and fixing it simply don't hear to fix. Let's go to page 16 in the Daily Graphic newspaper. A story about a man who's been arrested for killing a sex worker. It was in our news as well. Let's take the Daily Graphic angle of it in page 16, and it says a 34-year-old man, Isaac Saki, has been held by the police for allegedly murdering a commercial sex worker who allegedly stole his 120 Ghana cedis after he had had sex with her. Saki is said to have handed himself over to the police after stabbing the said prostitute 2 times in the stomach and thigh. He is said to have approached the woman, identified only as Tina, a Nigerian, for sex at a drinking spot at Bachona near the Spintex Road in Accra at about 8 p.m. last Wednesday. After having some drinks with his male friends, after drinking some bottles of liquor, the two are said to have agreed on a fee for the service, and they went off to Saki's house where they spent the night. I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story. You find it interesting, grab the Daily Graphic newspaper. Back page of the paper, though, government will improve revenue collection to cover shortfalls in tax reliefs. Okay, that's it for the headlines you find front back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper today, Friday.
All right. Until we have the Ghanaian Times. On the front page, it has a picture there of Kenneth Thompson. He's the CEO of Daylex Finance, and many of you will know that on the multimedia platforms he's always being featured, and I'm sure
he's on the executive lounge. Yep.
Yeah. Blame accountant for corruption. Daylex Finance CEO laments. He's gotten front
He's
page.
a very vocal man, by
front
the way.
Page,
I mean, he says it as it is.
Front page.
How?
I like him more. He's on my street, one of the offices that I work, and sometimes he just walks the street. I think, wow, this man's a big man, eh? Anyway, so we have other stories there. A picture of a pondering Mustafa Hamid, Minister of Information. Billboards becoming nuisance. The story is on page 17, and it talks basically about how the Minister of Information has stressed the need for the enactment of a law to regulate the siting of billboards. I'm sure he was interacting with the leadership of the Advertising Association of Ghana.
He was?
Yes, he was. Now we have other stories. The president, I will make corruption a felony, and 3 secessionists granted bail. On the back page, president bemoans falling standards in boxing, and Prestia Honi Valley Assembly to construct waste treatment plant. Good. And it's valued at a cost of 750,000 Ghana cedis. Wow, lots of money. But good work all the same. We have to look at the Daily Guide. It has on the front page, man kills prostitute at Manet. Volta separatists granted bail, and Mahama bounces back. And it says former President Mahama celebrating his wife's birthday with cake, handbag in Dubai.
The handbag is a cake. Is that it? I heard he put it on, was it Instagram or Twitter, or one of those
it's on
social
Twitter.
Media accounts? It's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the big headline on the front page.
Yes.
Can I see the cake again?
It's on social media. I think we can get a grab. If we can go to his Twitter account, Fred Potiphar. I hope Fred has a Twitter account himself so he can access GM's Twitter account. Fred Potiphar.
Let's do the Finder newspaper. Front page of the Finder. Over 300 patients detained at hospitals released. Visa delays, high costs frustrates U.S. investors. Ambassador outlines numerous challenges Ghana must address. Also published names of sexually abusive lecturers. UG students demand. We'll get to that story in the bit. It's on page 5. Government happy with Johnson & Johnson partnership. Government must consolidate fuel supply plans. That's a call from ASEP right there. Let's go to page 5 though, and it says some female students of the University of Ghana, led by the Women Commission of the School's Representative Council, are proposing that authorities of the school publish on its website and in the dailies the full details of male lecturers who sexually abuse female students. I agree, absolutely. According to them, sexual harassment and misconduct on campus has become a growing trend, but students do not report such cases for fear of victimization. At the Speak Up conference organized by the Commission on International Women's Day, students who have been sexually abused by lecturers shared their sad stories. So this is a piece that we all must make it a point to read in the final newspaper, and I absolutely agree to this call. Published names of lecturers who have been engaged in sexual harassment cases on campus so that everybody will know them. But beyond that, why don't you sack them? Why are they even still working in those institutions? Because they don't deserve to be teaching people, really. What kind of examples do they serve? More of the stories in the final newspaper of today, Roland.
So we have the Daily Dispatch newspaper. On the front page of the paper, it says, Kwaku Baako set the record straight. No other person founded Ghana than Kwame Nkrumah. The story is on page 2 of the paper.
I'm sure it was, yesterday was what, Thursday? Maybe you're speaking on Kokroko on Peace FM.
Okay, so let's take a look. It says the gentleman. The gentleman.
Who's that? You're looking for Kwaku Baako?
Kwaku Baako.
Okay.
Kwaku Baako was speaking at delivering a speech to climate the event.
Oh, he's with me. Yeah.
Okay.
Nanyan.
So we have
if you want to be sure if this attributed to him is true or not, I guess he's on Newsfile tomorrow.
Yeah, he's on Newsfile.
Let's do the Business and Financial Times newspaper. City Wars may erode tax gains. That's a PricewaterhouseCoopers report, and it says the depreciation of the local currency against major trading currencies, particularly the US dollar, may erode gains to be made through the proposed abolition of the 1% special import levy on special goods and duties on spare parts. A PwC analysis of the 2017 budgets has shown. What does that mean? It means, you know, they don't think it's good that we took off those taxes? Okay. In plain language, man. Some tax cuts could backfire. Economist warns, almost agreeing with the reports. Yeah. Particularly because the city is not doing well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
NPRA to introduce new investor guidelines. Story says that the National Pension Regulatory Authority is set to roll out new investor-friendly guidelines by April as it seeks to encourage long-term investment. And on the back page of the Business and Financial Times, you'd find these headlines. FAO makes a case for consumption of more fruits and vegetables. First conference on international trade and finance slated for April. And women in engineering marks International Women's Day. So, Roland, just been thinking we have one day dedicated to telling the stories of women. Journeys will actually use the entire week because Justice Beidou is doing telling the stories of some amazing women around the country. So we, you know, the one day International Women's Day, 8th of March, and then what, that's it? Is that the only day that we would be either celebrating or talking about women's achievement or talking about equality or parity and things like that?
I think we also have to make it a point as media, because we serve as the intermediary between the public and what is perhaps is unknown, and make sure that we tell the story if we can every week or every month. We can do that.
Yes.
Yeah, so it all depends on us. And I know that you have great insight into production activities on the show, and you make your...
Okay, that's it. Let's do the online review of the show now. We'll touch base with myjoyonline.com. We'll do City FM online as well, and then finish off with the BBC. There's an incredible story I heard about an 8-year-old who rescued his father who had been trapped under a vehicle. Yeah, I want to pull that story up. Maybe
where,
not
in the Philippines?
No, not in the Philippines.
But no, it didn't happen in Ghana.
No, it didn't happen in Ghana. Let's do myjoyonline.com. Stories making headlines on our page this day and this morning, really. Transport fares up by 15% is a question. And if you find that there are any changes, because, you know, fuel prices just climbing up, who knows, we might just, if we're fortunate enough, we might be able to touch base with the NPA boss to find out why this is happening. I've been told already that it's the dollar. I mean, it's the city that's not doing well. That's why things are kind of shooting up. But have transport fares been increased? We can all tell, right? Beige ventures into health insurance. That's another story there on the page this morning. Government urged to invest in mental to check suicides. Bawumia heads to Mauritius for bilateral talks. Planting for food and jobs. Campaign gets to Volta region. Rawlings backs call for Lower Volta Basin Authority. It says a call by traditional leaders of Lower Volta Basin have proposed the establishment of an authority to address the challenges in the area. Looks like the former president totally agrees with that call. Tanzania ministries must pay bills or have power cut off. Here we go. The Tanzanian Electricity Company has given its defaulters 14 days to pay their debts or risk being disconnected. Is our own ECG learning anything from Tanzania, especially because of their president? We know that when they say they will do something, they will, right?
Well, that's because of the political stuff we're afraid to do things.
Brace up for more fuel price hikes as cedi falls. NDC MPs decry 1.5 billion Ghana cedis allocation to office of the president. So they say the allocation to the presidency this time around, I mean, is huge. It's unprecedented, really. And then the explanation is the fact that a lot more ministries have been created under the presidency, so they need funds. And then the counter argument is, but you told us that they are not ministries. Those are not ministries. They've got the minister, you know.
They're just personality who are coordinating.
Exactly. It's not a ministry, so why do you need an allocation as though, you know, it were ministry? But, you know, you can read a lot more about this. Roland, City?
Now, so we have allocating 500 million to presidency wrong, and it's not supposed to be 1.5 billion, I believe. So 500 million rather is unaccounted for almost, something of the sort. Voter breakaway case brought before High Court. Published names of sexually abusive lecturers, university students demand. Akufo-Addo's key policy initiatives to cost apparently over 2 billion Ghana cedis. Let's go up. Push to die, not because I'm stupid. I'm sure it's in response to many of the suicide cases we're hearing these days. And apparently a man also committed suicide, allegedly, at Old Achimota here in Accra. And Bolga rape case, police hunt for man who forced minors to have sex. We'll have great insight to many things happening. Okay. So we do the Africa page of the BBC. Has Nigeria sentences killer police to death? And apparently, it says 6 traders were shot in 2005 in modern Nigeria's most infamous case of extrajudicial killings. We've long passed, but the story still lives on. And we have Africa highlights, fresh pictures of Buhari in London. Can we go to Africa?
He's returned, eh? He's returned. I hear he's back in Nigeria.
No, he'll be back. He's not yet back.
Oh, yeah?
Let's click on Africa highlights, yes. Hey.
Which one is that?
He's found a new way of... okay, so let's go highlights, go up. Let's see who find the Nigeria story, if we can find it.
As in their president is back in the country?
No, he's not back yet. He'll be back. They say he's recovered.
Recovering or back? Yeah. I heard he's back.
No. So
see? To Abuja.
Oh,
Abuja
really?
House this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
That's Buhari's handle, right?
So that's him, eh? It still looks like he's not well.
No. Okay, this is in London. This is not in well, okay. So whether he's back or not, you know, he's on his way, right? Or he's there. One of those. We're going to confirm
the latest tweet from Nigeria's Muhammad Buhari during his stay in London on extended medical leave shows him meeting the Archbishop of Canterbury. That's and apparently the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is acting as the president.
Yeah.
Don't worry. At least if he doesn't return, I bet there's a vice president. Yeah?
And you know they've shut down their airport as well. I think for about 6 weeks.
Why?
the airport because they have to fix the runway apparently.
For him?
No, or just not normal? For the country. Okay. So there are some airlines who are not going to Nigeria because, you know, I think the next place, yeah, but you want to go to Nigeria. I think the next place where, you know, there's an airport to be used, you have to do like 2 hours to get to Abuja. And people have talked about how it is not safe. You know, sometimes there are people who could kidnap you and things like that. On
the road?
Yeah, but then again, I'm listening
from Lagos to Nigeria.
No. Is it Kaduna Airport or something like that? Is there a Kaduna Airport? I think there is.
Yes.
So that's the
there are airports in all the states.
That's the next airport that's available to the airlines. So what it means is you get to that airport and then you have to go by road to Abuja.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, sometimes international media can, you know, just blow the issues out of proportion.
Yeah, you know.
So yeah. Roland, I'm trying to find the story of this young boy who's been trapped. You know, who rescued his father.
Wait, which country?
We'll share that story. I want to get the full details so
but you should, at least you know the country. I'm asking, is it Philippines? You said no.
Let's do our little money moment. Why do you go straight to the Philippines?
I forgot my money.
So you don't have cash.
I don't have the cash, but I'll bring it.
That's fine. I mean, so let's not stress it. Okay. We're not putting.
So I owe 10.
No, you don't.
So I know sometimes, but it shows how sometimes realistic we have to be. Sometimes at least can you because there's nothing.
So if it is not serious. If it is not, you just.
So I owe 10.
Carry forward.
Sometimes that's how you be so scanner. Darling, me nibi or say, oh, you're wicked, and so now when you're wicked, it's can it be the money sum is not there. I hope your Alaji is watching, knowing that this is like
Alaji Abu.
Alaji Abu, good morning.
What do you want Alaji Abu to do for you?
To sympathize with us.
No, it is you.
Not us. I don't add me.
Don't add me.
Apparently, I'm alone in my financial.
I actually have my 10 Ghana.
Oh, you already have?
Yes, but since it's 50-50 gender parity. I won't put it in.
But you can pay for me.
No, I only have 10.
Okay, then today we're doing 5-5. I forgot to. The peg was 10 Ghana and above.
All right. Still to come here on
one person sometimes I hate in the morning is Derek Akosam. Sometimes he can be so wicked. It's true.
Oh wow.
It's true. I signal to him that Charlie.
Why are you some cash?
The miss can be Nimukutukum Poncho. I was one home and I say, you see what my mother will do to you. And apparently you've responded so well. You know, sometimes you can be so nice. It's amazing. You are so unpredictable the way your temperament is. But that's a good thing about you, you know. So we're taking a break.
Should we take a break?
Yes.
Yeah, we should.
We're taking a break.
No, not until we tell you what's happening on our show this morning. You'll love every bit that we're doing today. The Ministry of Gender, Children, Social Protection has launched a campaign. They're calling on men to support women become great people. We've got a conversation with the Minister, Otiko Afisa Jaba. And the minister is also calling on former Akwetia Member of Parliament, Mr. Baba Jamal, to come out publicly to shame the detractors of incumbent Member of Parliament of the same constituency, Madam Amasei, so as to exonerate himself from rumors that he sent people to ridicule the Akwetia MP. We will share with you the audio that's gone viral. You know, criticizing the Member of Parliament and basically laughing at her because, you know, they think that the English she spoke as she addressed a parade, you know, celebrating the Independence Day on the 7th of March in her constituency, you know, didn't go that well. We'll bring you back that audio and then you can judge for yourself. But the good thing for us here on the show is that I sat down with her yesterday to have a conversation, an honest conversation. We talk about the change from the salon in Akwetia to the big house, Parliament now, and how she's faring. We talk about the audio itself, how it makes her feel. And then we also talk about when she would make her statements on the floor in Parliament. She's given us when she intends to do that.
She intends to do, following the audio.
No, not following the audio. Okay, well, but there are some facts, though. The fact still remains that...
Is she the one in the audio?
Yes, she is. She's not denying anything.
The 6 March audio.
That's her, Roland. Not everybody can speak English. Not everybody can speak good English. Not everybody went to school like you did, got to the level like you did. But that's the facts. I mean, a lot of our parents, it could be mother, father, your grandparents, didn't go to school, but they did work hard to send us to school.
Yeah, sure.
You get the point. So she's making an effort and she's learning. She's educating herself now, you know, trying to get herself ready to make a speech in Parliament. You get what I mean?
She wants to create another audio.
Roland.
Yes, we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll have a lot more.
You're not taking no break.
We have to do sports.
Stay with us. We've got sports up next.